Chapter 3. I let out a loud whining yawn. My jaw pops, and tears trickle out of the corners of my eyes and blur my vision. Once it clears, I glance around the dinner table to see my parents and sister gawking at me. Blushing, I swallow the food I was chewing. Sorry, I mumbled. Gross! Try yawning with your mouth closed, Sadie says with her nose scrunched. Is that even possible? I don't think so, but I'll try it next time. Someone clearly needs to go to bed early tonight, Mom says as she places another slice of cornbread on my plate. I ate the first piece, though I don't seem to have much of an appetite. My tongue has this weird I haven't brushed my teeth in days coating that makes everything taste kind of metallic. I force myself to take a small bite of Dad's meatloaf. Family dinners are a big deal. We haven't had any lately since my parents are working longer hours. Besides running his bakery, Dad picked up some catering gigs, and Mom teaches extra classes at the gym and does personal training. Sharing is caring. Sadie, you're up, Dad says as he pops a green bean in his mouth. Well, I started a new drawing today. I'm thinking about entering it in the school art contest at the end of the month. I'm using charcoal instead of paint. Sadie pushes corn away from her meatloaf. She doesn't like her food to touch, so she has somehow created a cool design on her plate. Because she's creating art, she's not reprimanded for playing with her food. Can't wait to see it, baby. Dad holds up his hand for a high five. Sadie slaps his palm. And you should definitely enter that contest. What do you have to lose? I'm with your dad. Let everyone appreciate your talent, Mom says. You deserve to be celebrated. Sadie shrugs as she doesn't really agree with Mom. I frown. What's that about? My sister used to be super confident about her artwork, and she would enter every contest she could find. But lately she's more hesitant, and I'm not sure why. Mom smiles encouragingly at my sister before her gaze lands on me. Your turn. I hesitate. Sharing is caring time is when we all give an update of our day or something interesting that happened. I used to love these moments, but after my accident, there wasn't much good stuff to talk about, and I haven't really gotten back into the groove. My first day back at basketball practice was okay. Doc said he was awesome, Sadie adds with a faint smile. That's what I'm talking about. Dad extends his fist to me to bump. Nightmare is back, huh? I grimace as his knuckles touch mine. Nightmare was a nickname given to me by some of my teammates. They said I could be a nightmare on the court for our opponents. I liked it at first, but now considering everything going on, it's unsettling. Yeah. Coach said I could maybe play in the game next week. I glance from Dad to Mom, waiting for their reactions. Mom frowns. Isn't that a little fast? Not fast enough if you ask me. I wanted to play months ago, but no one thought I was ready. I'll be good after more practice time with the team. Okay, well. Her dark eyes roam over my face, lingering on the scar. I sigh. Mom? What? She asks. The doctors may have cleared you, but that doesn't mean everything is back to normal. You shouldn't rush in. I push my plate away. Mom! She rolls her eyes. I know who I am. You're not funny, I say through my lips though my lips twitch. Sadie raises her hand like she's in class. I disagree. Sometimes she's funny. I mock glare at my sister. Not helping. You're supposed to be on my team. She laughs. Sorry, bro. Dad, help me out here, I say, throwing him a desperate look. Tell Mom I'm cool and not to worry so much. Sweetheart, Dad says to Mom. Her eyes narrow. Yes, dear? Remember what we talked about? He says, giving her a pointed look. Mom's mouth opens and closes. She's clearly struggling not to say something. I glance at Sadie. Her eyes bounce between Mom and Dad. I wish I could read her mind. For over a year, everything has pretty much revolved around me, and not for good reasons. She's never seemed bitter or angry, but I wonder if she gets sick of all the Shane drama. I do. Shane, we're happy you're getting to play ball again. We know how important it is to you, Dad says. It's the most important thing. It's who I am. The most important thing is your health. We just don't want you to get hurt, Mom says. We worry because that's what parents do. And you look a little tired. I'm fine. I didn't get much sleep last night is all, I say. Then quickly add, because I was so excited about playing again. This was a big day for me. I know that, baby, Mom says with a sigh. Look, as long as you promise to let us know if it gets to be too much, I'll stop bugging you. I nod. It's all good, but if something changes, I'll let you know. Glad that's settled. Dad glances at Mom. Now stop being all spicy. Sadie grimaces. It's extra, and you're trying to be cool, and you trying to be cool is not cool. I'm cool, and fly, and hip, and all the other stuff kids say today, Dad says while wiggling in his seat and waving his arms. It's a bad imitation of a popular dance move. I groan. First of all, we don't say fly or hip. That's so old school. Dad, stop, cries Sadie. You're embarrassing yourself. She's just mad we got moves. Mom mimics Dad's horrible dancing. My eyes, Sadie and I cried. We all laugh, and the earlier tension eases. Mom and Dad worry too much, especially my mom. I get it. I did die. My heart stopped for a few minutes. I flatlined, but I came back. I'm alive. That's what they should focus on. Mom, you're up. Sharing is caring. When do you leave on your trip? I ask. She takes a sip of her sweet tea. The conference starts on Thursday morning, so my flight is late Wednesday afternoon. At the last minute, she was offered a free ticket to the Health and Wellness Conference in California that she wanted to attend. We love free, and it will give Mom an opportunity to make more contacts. She wants to open her own fitness center one day that specializes in helping children with physical limitations. It was something she has become interested in after my accident. I am excited, Mom says. I wish y'all could come with me. I can go, Sadie says. Mom laughs. Nice try. You're not missing school, but maybe we can take a family trip this summer. Dad and Sadie seem hyped for that, but I remain silent. There's a summer basketball league. I don't want to miss it. Maybe they'd let me stay with Doc and his parents. Honey, you're up, Mom says to Dad. Dad set his fork down. Well, today I confirmed a large catering job, the biggest since we opened the bakery. It's going to be a lot of work, but I know it's going to lead to more opportunities. That's awesome! He loves baking as much as I love playing basketball. Well, almost. Way to go, Dad, Sadie says. Who's winning? The Johnson family, that's who, says Mom. What are we winning? A voice asks from behind me. I gasp and spin around in my seat. Doc stands in the kitchen doorway. Doc, what have we told you about just walking into our house? Mom cries, clutching her chest. Not to do it? He says, straightening his smudged glasses. I did knock first. When no one answered, I used my key. I knew that was a mistake, Sadie says, though she's grinning. The key was given to your parents in case of an emergency, Dad says, crossing his arms. This is an emergency. I don't like the dinner my mom cooked. It's way too healthy, so I came here to eat. He rubs his round stomach. I'm a growing boy, and I need sustenance. Doc's parents sometimes make suggestions about him losing weight. He's just as healthy as me, probably more so, even though he carries a few more pounds than they would like. Everyone in his family is thin and super athletic, so his folks kind of expect him to be too. It's not fair, and I feel bad for him. He doesn't talk about it a lot, but I know it bothers him. Doc tugs a sheet of paper from his back pocket as he approaches my dad. I brought you something. He waves the paper in the air. Something you've been wanting for a long time. Dad's eyes widen. Is that? My abuela's concha's recipe, Doc says. You have no idea how many telenovas I had to watch with her to get this. Dad grabs the recipe and studies it intently. One Thanksgiving, Doc brought his grandmother sweet rolls and Dad lost his mind. He's been asking for her special recipe ever since. Fix the boy a plate. He's joining us for dinner. Smiling, Mom rolls her eyes. Doc, sit down. Thanks, second Mom. Doc plops down in a chair, grabs my napkin, and tucks it into his shirt, then rubs his palms together eagerly. Mom fixes him a plate of food and sets it down in front of him. I love Meatloaf Mondays. Doc mumbles a quick prayer in Spanish, then digs into his food. Are you even tasting it? Sadie says. Doc, please chew and swallow, Mom says. Dad watches Doc nervously. I hope someone knows the Heimlich maneuver. We may need it. So good! I love the ketchup on the meatloaf. And did you use a new spice? I'm running away from home and living in your kitchen. As Doc continues to eat and joke around with my family, I can't help but appreciate this moment. The people I care about the most are sitting around the table, and we're happy. There was a time I didn't think we'd get back here. I didn't think we'd get past the accident. Through the pain and anger and sadness and stress would hover like a dark cloud over us forever. I was wrong. Mom said we as a family are winning. I don't know if I feel that way about myself yet. I still need to win on the court again. I need to be the player I was before the accident. That's the ultimate goal. Today returning to practice was the first step, but I'm not all the way back. My eyes roam around the table, studying their expressions and gestures. The way Mom throws her head back when she laughs, the way Dad speaks with his whole body, how Sadie listens quietly and her eyes light up when she has something important to say, how Dad gives a play-by-play of what he's eating and is not shy about sharing how much he loves food. This moment is everything. I don't want it to ever end. But it's like I can hear the clock ticking away in my head. My chest tightens with the same panicked feeling I had when we were down in a game, and there are only a few seconds left. I need to make a move, but for an instant I'm frozen in place, and I am unsure of what will happen next. Will I be victorious, or will I crash and burn? Sadie glances in my direction. I force a smile, though I'm plagued with a disturbing sense that I'm not in control. That the game is fixed. That I've already lost. Sounds interesting. Join me for the next chapter.